All righty, guys. Welcome to another edition of Throwback Thursday with Ronnie and Mr. Brian. How are you, man?
Doing well, doing well. So I love these little vlogs that we're doing and stuff, man. So we're getting a lot of positive feedback from it. So I think we got a good property to talk about today with it.
Oh, for sure, for sure, for sure. So this property is off of Paris. It is a little interesting pocket of town. This property actually, when I walked it, it's a solid property. Like I walked it, I was like, you know what? It took a little while for the tenants to kind of get out, so that was a little weird. But the property itself was a very solid property. Um, Bedrooms, bathroom, everything seems to be in pretty good condition. Basement didn't have any leaks or anything like that. But the one thing about this property that was a little different was how close it was to the highway. When if you walk out, there's a street, and then I think that's what 65 is just going right there. So you had all of this noise, and you got 18 wheelers and things like that that just really kind of threw this one kind of off. I mean, so I felt like we bought it okay, but probably could have did a little bit better keeping in mind the location, and what was the cross streets and stuff like that was around there, especially with 65 being right there, huge interstate.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, this is the perfect case of so here in Indianapolis, it's in an area called Riverside. Not one of the best areas in town and stuff, but it's a good rental. There's a lot of rentals there, a lot of investment kind of opportunities if you're looking for some buy and holds for the long term. Not much appreciation or anything like that, but some decent buy and holds. And this property is exactly what looking at it in pictures. Ronnie walks it. It's a good property. It's like, yeah, we definitely needed to get this under contract. Like, it's looking pretty good, but then just one of those things, like considering the location, really just because of the location, it was on a street that basically just faces an interstate, where there is a lot of traffic, and it's not like the noise was super bad or anything like that, but just like knowing that, like, hey, that's what it's going to face. There's going to be people that are throwing stuff off of the interstate, like out of their cars. There's always going to be trash. Like, it's just something to consider when you're in that kind of area and when you're in close to the interstate like that. So, it's one of those things of Ronnie and I talking about, like, this was like, if this is anywhere else, this is a great buy. You got this under contract for the right thing, but really it should have been, just because of the location, you should have gotten a contract for about 5,000 less. Yeah. So, and that's tough when you're having that conversation and making sure you're explaining that to your seller and why that is and things like that. They're selling it for a reason. That's probably the reason they are selling too. They're having trouble renting it because it's in that location. So that's the thing. And if we ended up making like $3,000, on this one from the in between, getting under contract and selling it and things like that. But, if we just would have considered that a little bit more, we'd probably just been able to get a little bit more out of it, maybe 6,000, 8,000 to get closer to kind of that, what that average is. If it was on, one street back, it would have been a completely different area, but very different idea. But, good property itself. It was solid. It was, a 3-bed, 1-bath, which is always good to find, but, solid place. They could go in there and just do some quick cosmetic stuff. It was true cosmetic stuff, not your typical wholesale cosmetic things,
Right.
what we're talking about and stuff. But solid property. But this is one of those things. Ronnie and I thought this would be a good one to talk about because it was all about location with this one and just knowing the surroundings. And you got to be careful of this, because when you are, if you're buying, or if you're, getting something under contract, or you're virtual, these are the things you need to consider of, hey, if a seller sent me these pictures, or, a wholesaler sent me these pictures or anything like that, it looks solid. It looks great and things like that. But, making sure you're looking on the map, make sure you're looking at the comps. How close is it? Is there a house in between? Is there a barrier in between that's going to be a sound barrier for trash or for sound or any of those things? Just consider all those things when you're coming into, real estate is all about location. And this was kind of that scenario. We made a little bit on it, but could we made a little bit more? Maybe if we would have considered that and used it in our negotiation tactics as we got it under contract. So, yeah. But we got out of it. Ended up being a pretty decent property. I know that the people that actually ended up buying it, they're going to be homeowners. So it's going to be good for them, and they're going to live in it. It's going to be a good house for them. So, Ronnie, awesome job, man. Anything else you want to say to kick us out of here for Throwback Thursday today?
Make sure you wear your coat. It's cold outside.
All right. Awesome. See you guys next week.